If, like me, you're into Formula 1, you'll enjoy a very good 4-part documentary on Netflix, Brawn GP, the impossible Formula 1 story. Kenny Reeves is the host who interviews all the different players in the saga. It's about how the Brawn GP team arrived on the scene brand new in 2009, taking over something that had been defunct financially, went on to win the Formula 1 championship. Fantastic story. But as I'm watching it, I came across a part of it which started my mind cogwheels whirring. And it was how the rules were made by the FIA to say this is what the car can and cannot do. These are how the car can be built and what things are restricted. And in that they said there'd be a diffuser in the car which basically it transmits the air under the car to allow for airflow. They had to be very careful about not making that too tight because they believed that's what killed Ayrton Senna. It was overdone and the car basically planed over the air and slid and then crashed. So they wanted to make sure it was safe. What Brawn did was they invented a double diffuser. Other teams said this is against the rules. You can't do that. You're making two diffusers. They then said, no, we made a diffuser and we also made some modifications. And they started talking about things like holes or slits or tracts because they hadn't put holes in, they put slits in. These weren't holes. And there was a whole legal wrangle with all the other teams trying to say they have an advantage because they broke the rules. In the end, the interpretation was they haven't broken the rules. What they've done is perfectly legal, according to our rulebook. And all the other teams then thought, right, we have to race now, forgive the pun, to do the same to our car. What was that? A valid reinterpretation of the rulebook. Is that not what we do in theology all the time? People who read their Bible and say, this is what it says. Someone comes along and says, actually, I don't think it says that, it says this instead. And they reinterpret it. And in reinterpreting, they find that they are entitled to do that. And in time, others come alongside and say, you know what, your interpretation actually is valid. We're going with that. Just thinking, slavery, abolition, for one, just for one. But over time, we have reinterpreted the rulebook and thought of it in different ways because we see things in different ways. And just like the Brawn Formula 1 team read the rules and says, actually, we can do this while still keeping ourselves within the rules. And this happens everywhere. Look at things like the American Constitution. People debate about what did the Founding Fathers mean by these words. Surely what they meant was different to what we mean now, and therefore we can reinterpret that. This happens in all avenues, in all areas. When you have a written down rule, it's open to reinterpretation. And that's what happens when theology progresses. The others just have to come on board and agree that the reinterpretation is a better way forward. Watch the documentary. It's very, very interesting and very well presented. Follow me for more.